Hey everyone, so a Dune Part 2 teaser trailer was actually shown at CinemaCon 2023, and it revealed some very interesting scenes. Let's get into this. So if you follow me on Twitter, I was pretty much covering this extensively as it was unfolding at CinemaCon for about 4 to 6 hours. So if you want to be updated frequently on Dune Part 2, follow me on Twitter for more of those updates. So if you recall, I released a schedule of what was going to happen with the Dune Part 2 teaser trailer and when we might see it. And we weren't really sure if we were actually going to see anything or if anything was really going to be happening at CinemaCon this year. But according to my sources, things were starting to pick up pace and some things were going to happen at CinemaCon. So I was cautiously optimistic. There were rumours that Timothee Chalamet was going to be there as well, and I already knew that Zendaya was going to be there because she was supposed to be receiving some kind of award. So when I heard Timothee Chalamet and Zendaya were there, I thought, okay, this is picking up traction now. And then when I heard that Denis Villeneuve was actually attending, it's quite clear that they all wouldn't attend CinemaCon if they weren't going to show something. So a Dune teaser trailer was expected. There were clips of Dune scenes in a sizzle reel before Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet and Denis Villeneuve even appeared on stage, so there was a buzz that was beginning to circulate about Dune Part 2. And then it was promised that there was going to be more footage at CinemaCon of Dune Part 2, so we were all waiting in anticipation. So this is everything we learned about Dune Part 2, according to Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet and Denis Villeneuve. Let's start off with what Zendaya had to say. Zendaya said she's not just in dreams this time, referring to Chani in Paul's dreams, which means that she has a bigger role in Dune Part 2, and we already knew that that was going to be the case. She has to fall in love with Paul, she has to fight alongside him, and also teach him the ways of the Fremen people, which she'll probably fit into comfortably anyway because of his prescient vision. She then described Paul and Chani as being two young people who are trying to grow up, fall in love, and also about being a warrior for your people. We learn that Dune Part 2 will pick up right after where Dune Part 1 ends, which is basically as I described in my Where Dune Part 1 Begins video. So it's them walking towards Sich Tabar or towards a place of safety, the caves, where they seek shelter. Check that out if you're interested. Villeneuve described Austin Butler as playing a swashbuckler who is a crazy killer. Léa Seydoux is bringing a mysterious character to the screen as Lady Margot Fenring, and he also said that Part 2 is an epic war movie and much more dense. He says, "We visited Arrakis, we visit new locations, everything is new in the film. In the first movie, they shot 40% in IMAX, this time it's full IMAX. So that means there has to be an IMAX cut released for Dune Part 2, but also they should go back and release an IMAX edition for Dune Part 1. Denis Villeneuve described Florence Pugh's character as being a political chess player. Some reports say that Denis said a vital piece in the chess game of this story. So I think she's going to have quite a prominent role in this film, at least in terms of influence in the film and how she impacts the story itself. And some reports say that Denis Villeneuve said that Austin Butler is an Olympic swordmaster mixed with a psychotic Mick Jagger. And I thought that was really interesting because Mick Jagger was supposed to play Feyd-Rautha in Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune.
Mick Jagger could be fantastic, no?
And it's a weird kind of reference to that because it's almost as though Denis Villeneuve is a fan of all that previous work and is very aware of that work. So again, perhaps he took some visual cues from Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune, just as he took some inspiration from David Lynch's Dune. Apparently the knife fights resemble Gladiator, so that's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to have that same epic intensity and probably is going to be the gladiatorial fight between Feyd-Rautha and the character Lieutenant Lanville, played by Roger Yuan, who's also the stunt coordinator for the film. Chalamet talks about the pinnacle moment for him in the sequel, which is riding a sandworm, and it's a rite of passage to becoming part of the Fremen people. Chalamet says that in the first movie, Paul Atreides is a student. We really see Paul Atreides become a leader here in Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve says we went to all new locations and that everything is new in the film. He also says that Dune Part 1 is more of a contemplative movie. Part 2 is an action-packed epic war movie. It is much more dense. We went to all new locations. I didn't want a feeling of repetition. It's all new sets. Everything is new. Villeneuve described Austin Butler's character Fade Rautha as an Olympic swordmaster crossed with a psychotic serial killer. The trailer shows him as bald and having very pale skin. And there seemed to be this divide between people who wanted him to have hair and people who wanted him to be bald. I think the people who wanted him to have hair are people who are much more faithful to the Dune book itself, who really want the text to come off the page and be portrayed on the screen accurately. But Denis Villeneuve is doing his own thing, and to keep things matched to Denis Villeneuve's vision, Austin Butler playing Fade Rautha has been made bald as well, like his brother Rabban and his uncle the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. So what was actually shown in the Dune teaser trailer? I'm going to break down everything that happened in the Dune teaser trailer, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please watch another video of mine. The trailer begins with Chani and Paul sitting at the edge of a desert. It's breathtaking, just imagine water, he tells her. Apparently we see Rebecca Ferguson with face markings, the same markings that Paul Atreides saw in his visions. Florence Pugh's character Princess Irulan appears. In the shadow of Arrakis lies many secrets, but the darkness to all of that is what remains. Princess Irulan looks very regal and very much fits the role of a princess in terms of appearance. On the screen, fury will rise, flashes across. Your father didn't believe in revenge. And it's probably Rebecca Ferguson as Jessica saying this, and this will show the conflict between Paul and Jessica, his mother. What if Paul Atreides was still alive? Irulan asks. And we see Fade Rautha completely bald with white skin and dark eyes, so I think he's going to have a menacing presence. We see Paul rise as a great leader among the Fremen, getting advice from Javier Bardem as Stilgar about riding the sandworms. He uses the maker hooks, and Paul tries to wrestle and mount the beast in the trailer, getting swallowed up by some of the sand. There's a shot of someone's eye turning blue, getting high on spice. I'm not quite sure who, but I think it could be Gurney Halleck, because it's reminiscent of a certain deleted scene which you can check out in this video. Or it could be Jessica's, when taking the water of life. I'll leave a link in the description. Be simple but direct, Stilgar says. Nothing fancy, Paul answers. This is obviously so that he rides the sandworm correctly, and this is almost a line directly from the book. And we also learn that the sandworm that Paul rides is entirely practically built, according to Chalamet. So he's interacting with real sandworm scales and the body mass of a sandworm. Paul and Chani kiss, and she says, "You will never lose me, Paul Atreides." Paul Atreides has the blue within blue eyes of the Herbert. And fighting knife to knife with Butler's character, Fade Rautha. We see Paul versus Fade, in black and white apparently. Shots of him appearing atop of a canyon to cheering people, and then the final quote, "We gave them something to hope for." Cut into black right as he does the knife salute from the first Dune film, so that's going to make a resurgence. And I guess it's going to be a salute that all the Fremen begin to emulate. So we don't get to see Christopher Walken's Emperor Shaddam IV in this teaser trailer, and we don't get to see Alia either, so I think they're saving those for Dune Part 2's theatrical trailer. And that's all we know so far. Hopefully we get to see more footage and more content soon. So what do you think about all the Dune news? Let me know in the comments section below. If you'd like to keep up to date with all the Dune related news, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon or join my channel as a member, it really helps me to make more content for you guys. Thank you to all my Patreons and channel members for your support. So if you're interested to see where Dune Part 1 begins, check out this video.